Okay, guys, this video is going to cover the second part of the chapter, or second part of the unit, rather. Here we have in the learning guide, we're going to be talking about how did Texas become involved in the fight for Mexico, as well as how did the U.S. become involved in the fight for Mexican independence, what significance the Gutierrez Magee expedition and the Battle of Medina had, and then how did the colonists become independent from Spain. So kind of looking at U.S. Texas involvement in fight for independence in Mexico and the tail end of the war for Spain to become independent. We will also be looking at the significance of 1821. That's the date of Mexicans' independence from Spain. All right, here we go. So up first, the filibusters. Okay, how did Texas become involved in the fight for Mexican independence? Well, part of it is the filibusters. These are, and well, this also connects back to the U.S. because the filibusters are U.S. They're Americans who are groups of men. They're coming into Texas and into Mexico, trying to help Mexico get safely away, or help Texas get away from Spain and become part of the United States. So this is an early, reach out there from Americans to try to steal Texas away from Mexico before it's even Mexico. They're really trying to steal it away from Spain. The Gutierrez Magee expedition, perhaps the best known of the filibuster movements because of the Battle of Medina. The big deal here is that these expeditions, these filibusters, they start off by kind of saying, hey, should we trust the motives of, Americans who are going to come in the future? There's always this in the background of, oh, look at all these Anglo settlers. Wait a minute. Why are they really here? All right, so let's talk about Gutierrez and Magee. Gutierrez is a gentleman who leaves the country of Mexico, or the territory of Mexico, goes to Washington, D.C. to get support for basically find backers to help him have a revolution, or to help fight the revolution. Now, Washington's basically telling him, well, we're not going to stop you from finding backers here in the United States, but we're really not going to help you. So they're the United States is trying to take a neutral position. They're like, go ahead, do whatever you want. It's a free country in our country, but we're not going to give you, direct support. At least, not direct support that would be public. They would have done probably some behind the scenes things, different people helping him out. There were some aides to the president who were down there kind of coordinating things with Magee, or with Gutierrez. So it's kind of interesting. There are some ties from Magee to Andrew Jackson back to the White House. So yeah, there's probably some what we call covert operations going on there to behind the scenes help this thing happen, but it's not going to be publicly done. All right, so Augustus Magee, he goes to help in August 8th, 1812, goes to help the Gutierrez fight by bringing 300 men to Texas. So he crosses the border with 300 men from Louisiana. Magee dies early in the campaign, however. So right off the bat, there's some first early battles to try and seize some areas around San Antonio and down by the coast. And in those early battles, Magee is killed. So it's really, he's out of it. It just bears his name. The expedition ended in August 15th of 1813. So you're looking at about a year. Or a little over a year at the Battle of Medina. That battle is a massacre. The Spanish military comes at the Magee expedition, and it is a massacre. Now, that Battle of Medina takes place along the Medina River south of San Antonio. So literally there's a park. You can go ride your bike down there right now, and you're in the area where the battle happened. So the Spanish army defeated the Republic of Texas. So the thing you have to understand about Gutierrez and Magee, they started this Republic of Texas a Republic of the North. They were the ones who were trying to start this whole thing for themselves, and the Republic of the North is defeated. That needs a capital. So Republic of the North. Okay, so the Republic of the North was the government or the country that Gutierrez and Magee were trying to establish. Absolutely failed at the Battle of Medina. All right, so the Adams-Orange Treaty. The significance of the Adams-Orange Treaty in 1819. The United States and Spain are defining the western limits of the Louisiana Purchase. Think about that big piece of land. It's really hard to determine where exactly does that end. There will be some debate between the different countries that you border. So Spain, because it's dealing with this war in Mexico and unrest there, it's trying to put out as many fires as it can, so it's not having to fight all these battles all the time. And one of the things that they're most worried about is the new border between the United States and Spain. Where is it? Do we have to go defend it? What's going on? So this treaty, the Adams-Orange Treaty, is about putting, to rest that kind of thing. Now, so what does Spain give up? Well, they give up their claims to the Pacific Northwest, up in the Oregon Territory and the what is the area of Washington. Spain had a claim on that because they settled California. They were a little bit further north. The debate about what territory was theirs, they ended that debate. Give it to the United States and back the United States claim to the Northwest Territory. Now, Florida, as far as the Spanish look at it, it's only inhabitable on the coastline. Inside Florida, during that time period, it's mostly swamps and wetlands, and the mosquitoes are so bad, people die of malaria. If you move further inland, you can really only live on the coast. So Florida's not that prized piece of land that Spain needs to fight for. In fact, the Seminole Indians on the inside of Florida are so fierce that the Spanish haven't been able to conquer them, and for that matter, where they butt up against the United States hasn't been able to conquer them. So the United States gets Florida as well, and then the United States in return recognizes the Spanish sovereignty over Texas and where the borderline is. So let's take a look at the Adams-Orange Treaty right here. Okay, so this red line, the new boundary line, that's established by the Adams-Orange Treaty. Right there, everybody knows, okay, that's the boundary line. It's interesting where you don't have like a parallel, like the 42nd parallel here, where it goes all the way around the world, and that's the line we stopped at. You have natural barriers being used. So the Arkansas River, straight down to the Red River. Okay, so there's probably some landmark that's right here I'm just not aware of that makes that straight line. It may be, well, actually it's 100 west, so it's going to be a line of latitude and longitude. So they stop it there and come straight down. Then they go along the Red River to the Sabine River, then down the Sabine River. Those are your boundary lines. Okay, so, and then they lose Florida. They give up their claim up here in the Oregon Territory, and there's your new boundaries. Spain can rest assured, and it can go fight its independence, or fight Mexico's trying to become independent. All right. So Spain lets go. That's a little bit off. Let's do that, move that over if we can. Nope. Hit undo. All right. So the idea here is that Spain lets go at a point of what it's doing. Okay, with Mexico. There we go. Now everybody can see that. All right. So the thing you've got to understand about Mexico, we talked about those social classes, right? That pyramid where there's a little bitty group at the top. Well, guess what? That little bitty group and the rest of the groups are starting to unite. And then finally the Peninsulares see that they must switch sides. If they don't switch sides, they're going to lose everything. All those other groups are going to control the army. They're going to control the government. And then they're going to rebel. And when they finally rebel and take over, for that, 0.3% of the population. And they don't want that. The Peninsulares originally joined the movement to try and steer the movement in their own favor. It doesn't work out so well, so they end up having to balance and give away power and make a movement that's more equal. And that's truly where you see the new identity of mestizo or Mexican taking over Mexico. All right, so once united, Mexico can resist Spain's last weak attempts to control, because you got to remember, Spain not only fighting in Mexico, Spain's also dealing with civil war in Europe. Okay, they've had invasion from France. They've got, fighting France to get them out of there. They've got their own civil war going on. Things are rough in Spain right now. They don't want to have to deal with coming in and fighting a war in Mexico. It's like, enough fighting. Let it go. So September 16th, 1821, Mexico gained independence from Spain. All right, guys. I will see you later on.